You are watching and listening Stuck in the Middle podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, definitely hit that subscribe button. We appreciate every single one of y'all. The ring a bell is on the left side, my left side. Hit that up so you get updates every time we drop something new. We're back on the desk, yo. Listen, if you are not vaccinated, go get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, that's okay as well. But stay safe. Keep everybody around you safe. This Stuck in the Middle podcast, man, like I said, if you're riding around listening to audio, Spotify, Stricter, Anchor, all that good stuff, definitely hit the subscribe. Leave a comment. Leave a review so our algorithms drive up. Do a screenshot. Send it to Instagram. Send it to your ex. Send it to your aunties. Let them know we out here and we popping. You heard? SRTN Podcast 237@gmail.com. If you want to write for us, if you want to send us guest suggestions, I am Reflex, your host. We got a special guest in the building, man. Listen, she is a blogger. She is an administrator, a graphic design artist. You can hear her on the now going into the 4th season of Naija Girl podcast, where she is the host, the creator. She's no stranger to the pod. You were actually on the couch talk with Charles. Now you're on the desk. Please welcome Olamide to Stuck in Middle podcast. Olamide Ayanda. Ayanda, right?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm okay. Welcome to the desk.
Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, listen, you actually, I was reading, and I want to get this quote right. You said, my long-term memory is scary, and my short-term needs prayer. Like, what do you mean by that?
So I can remember things in life as far as 2 years old in Nigeria.
2 years old?
Mm-hmm. And maybe like in 10 years, I'll remember this day. I remember your outfit and your shoes. I remember everything you said to me. But I probably won't remember what you said to me 5 minutes ago. Right. If you ask me right now, I wouldn't remember. But maybe in 10 years, I can recall what you said to me.
What you have for breakfast yesterday?
Actually, I did not have breakfast yesterday.
Dang.
You know what? I had a protein shake after going to the gym.
Protein shake after going to... What did I have for breakfast? I don't remember. I think we're the same. Like, my short-term memory is terrible.
Like, we can have a convo, and I'll pop... You'll be like, what did I just say? I don't know. I don't know what you just said.
Exactly.
Can you repeat it again?
But as far as 2 years old, let me guess, that was in Nigeria. Your name, Olamide, I'm guessing is Nigerian.
Mm-hmm, I'm Yoruba.
So, you were born in Nigeria?
I was born in Washington, D.C., but when I was like 2, my mom's dad was sick. Mm-hmm. So, my brother, my mom, and I went to Nigeria for a 1-month vacation to see my grandpa because we thought he was going to die. Mm-hmm. But we got stuck there for 9 months. So I ended up coming back with the accent, speaking full-blown Yoruba. Like
after 9 months?
Yes, speaking it like it was nothing. So I had the accent for up to age 6. But yeah, I was in Nigeria for a while. So that's why I remember certain things like going to the waterfall or going on a family vacation or getting puff from the vendor or being in school and the teacher eating my lunch or giving it to her son. And mom's like, yeah, how do you remember this? I'm like, I don't know. It's coming back to me. Recalling different memories from Nigeria.
Teacher taking your lunch and eating
and giving it to her son. Like, what? But yeah. Then my grandma had a restaurant on top of, our building. So I remember going there after school, eating pounded yam with okra and drinking malt. I remember Nigeria when I was 2.
And so you guys came back after 9 months. Mm-hmm. And have you been back since?
So I didn't go for a while until sophomore year of college. My mom brought me there in December. And then every year I would go to Nigeria for Dirty December. So I haven't been to Nigeria since 2018 due to COVID. But I am going in a couple of weeks.
Hey.
Life is for the living.
Life is for the living. Hey, sorry, yo. The pocket is healthy. This year has been good to you. You have to go and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, my aunt's turning 40. So
okay. So she's taking a bunch of y'all there.
My mom's already there, so I'm gonna go. My brothers can't make it. They're doing an IT course. So, but
how many brothers do you have?
So I have 3 brothers and a little sister.
Girl? You're the only girl?
No, I have a little sister. She's the last born. I'm the firstborn. So it's like us, then her. It's like a big age gap. We're 13 years apart.
Oof.
Yeah, but we look identical. So people think that we're twins and stuff like that. But yeah. Man,
how was life? You can technically say you grew up here, high school, middle school, elementary school. How was life for you as a first generation, Nigerian in America, in the DMV area? How was life for you growing up?
I feel like being Nigerian in the DMV, we have our own world. Like, yeah, we're in America, but most of our close friends and family friends, people that we do life with, are Nigerian. So it's like we have our own culture within American culture. So we have part of our parents' culture, but then part of like the American culture, and then the Black American culture, and then the DMV culture. So it's amazing. It's different though, because trying to relate to your parents with certain things, like, oh, what kind of college? Like, I want to do communication. And mom was like, no, do something medical related. So I did chemistry. Did I like chemistry? No. Did I know anything about chemistry? No. But because my mom told me to do it, I did it. But it's like, we live in America, and being a doctor and a pharmacist or a lawyer might be lucrative in Nigeria, but now in 2021, like being an IT tech, is the same thing as being a doctor, and even like being an artist can make you six figures like being a doctor. Things have changed. So it's like we are now exposed to a different world than our parents imagined or were exposed to. So it was beautiful, but it was kind of hard, like setting that identity. Like, yeah, I'm Nigerian. I respect my parents. I love my culture. But at the same time, because I'm in America, I'm privileged and blessed to be exposed to a different world of thinking. And I'm more creative than I am. Like, I can remember like biology facts and stuff like that, but that's not really my nature. I'm more of a creative person. I see in color and I put things together. So it's just like fighting with my parents with that, and even fighting with myself. Like, it's okay not to be a doctor. Like, to say, yeah, I'm an influencer, and still have the same type of like pride. And someone's like, oh, I'm Dr. Olamide, like just coming in terms of that. So it's interesting being in the DMV. Also, the DMV's, so many people are talented here. Right. So it's like we're privileged to connect with people and collab like how we're doing right now. Right. And people helping you, like you have a team that's helping you with your podcast. Like some people don't have that in other countries. They don't have the equipment and technology, but we're privileged to have a better lifestyle or access to things that other people are. So yeah.
And break out of those molds, break out of those bubbles,
and even change people. Like, I'm pretty sure like we are being pioneers to somebody else that didn't know it was possible for them to do certain things. Like Yvonne Orji, like she's from Laurel, Maryland, and now she's on Insecure. Like she just shows like, oh, you can be a Nigerian actress in America, not only in Nollywood but also in America and on HBO, and then write a book. Like, she's showing somebody younger than her that it's possible, even older actually. Show you that Nigerian that you can actually do it.
That's that Nigerian girl talk right there. You know what I'm saying? And so how did you get from, the medical where your parents wanted you to be to, you mentioned you were studying communications and you had a lot of blocks and you consolidated. We'll get to that. But how did you get from, the medical where your parents wanted you to be to exploring what your purpose, that's writing, that's being creative?
The easiest way to change course is to fail. Is to fail. So I went to Virginia Commonwealth freshman year as a chemistry major, and some schools, they don't admit you into your program right away freshman year, but VCU did. So I took chemistry 100, which is the intro to intro chemistry, and I failed with a D. D for dummy. D for do not recommend. So I took chemistry again because you have to get a passing grade to move on to 101, and I got a C. And I realized, like, I'm paying out of state tuition for a major that I'm failing. So I came back home, ended up going to Morgan State, and switched to nursing. Yeah, I know, right? I know, yeah. But I believe like God orders our steps. So even though like we make mistakes, He leads us to the path that we're called to, one way or another. So I did nursing, and I was doing nursing, and Morgan had a program that was freshly new. And with Morgan, it's like you can only apply for the nursing program once a year. So if you don't make it this year,
you gotta wait another year.
Wait till next year fall. And then I applied 2 years in a row, and I didn't get in. And I was already like entering into like my super senior year.
Yeah, you're not a youngin'.
Yeah, I'm not a youngin', and I'm the firstborn. And my parents were like, no, like you need to graduate and not, be in school forever. So when I went to look at what major I could be in that lined up with what I had so far, the only major that made sense was health education, aka public health. So I did it, and I was actually doing really well, like getting all A's, doing really well in my major. I had so much grace. So my last year, we had to do an internship, which was like a class you needed to graduate. So I felt like God was telling me to move from Baltimore back home to PG. So I moved home, and I told my instructor, like, I'm moving back to PG. Can my internship be like in DC? And then she found some nonprofit that was able to take me in, and basically wasn't that far away from my house. So when I got there, I was supposed to be doing like health programs and help it's like project management stuff. But they had like a communication team of one person. There was like, the girl was like, we really need your help on this team. And at that, when Canva first came out.
Oh,
so
shout out to Canva.
So the her name is Laura Jean Ann. She was like, LJ was like, do you mind like making infographics on Canva? And I was like, I don't do graphic design. Like, I don't do it at all. She's like, just play around with it. And I played around with it and stuff like that. And I started enjoying like making graphics and working on stuff and making new infographics for the nonprofit. And then sometimes I'll write like social media tweets on Facebook and Twitter, and then write blog posts for them and design things. So before I knew it, like my internship became mostly communication.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying it more than public health, but I didn't know that yet. So then, I don't know. I went to like my friend's graduation. They were like, everybody there was graduating from public health like me, and they were all from Johns Hopkins, and they were all doing like, I'm going to be a doctor, I'm going to be a surgeon, and I was like, me too. I'm going to be a doctor. Like, I'm deviating from what I really am. And then I just felt like I was saying, yeah, you should be a physician assistant. And so I basically like, I was working other places and they offered me like a marketing run. I was like, no, I can't accept it. I'm going to go back to school to be a PA. What? So I ended up like working at the hospital and taking classes to apply to PA school. And I applied to so many schools and I got rejected from all of them. And I felt like that was God saying like, yeah, you're good enough to get in, but this is not what I've called you to. Like, every door like to get into school is closing, like close. So I just decided to be a big girl and be like, I'm going to pursue marketing. I'm going to pursue being a creative. Like, I enjoy doing it. Like, why not make money from it? So since then I've been like striving to like do more marketing stuff, graphic design, copywriting, social media curation, stuff of that nature. So that's how I ended up here. Like, failure, like closed doors led me to this path of what God created me to do.
I know you work with SMTPR, Sophie.
Yes.
Is that so? Are you like? Is it safe to say you're a contractor, or you work for a company, or you building a team? You have a team right now.
So I worked with her like with one client I had. We and her like collab to do a photo shoot, and then recently, she brought me on board to help like evaluate a brand that she's working with to like help them with their social media. But like, I don't know. Funny enough, this is what God is dealing with me in the past week. Like, doing it full time. Like, don't treat it like a hobby or a freelance, but like really step out there and put yourself out there and be like, no, I am a legit business.
How do you do that? How do you step out there and put yourself out there as a content creator, as a graphic designer, as brand auditor? Because that's something that I would say we need.
So my big sister told me like, you have to put your foot out there and just walk, because like some people, our path is being paved as we're taking steps. Like some people, their path is clear. Like, they go to school, get a degree, get a job, and everything just seems to fall in line. Some people, it's just like we fall into our purpose, or we fail into our purpose, and every day we like, every mistake that we've made is really a learning lesson to get where we are. So it's just like taking it day by day. Like, as long as you have breath in your lungs, you have purpose, and just know like, okay, it didn't work out today. What can you do better for it to work out? Or what did you learn from this? So it's just like, I think my sister told me like, as much faith as you have in failing is as much faith you should have in it going well. Like, redirect that energy to it going well. Like, you think you're gonna fail, but another friend told me like, she had to master the fear of failing. So I recently learned like, I had Urban Disciple, and it didn't become the magazine that I wanted it to become, but at the same time, Urban Disciple allowed me to like get good at graphic design and marketing and writing and copywriting and stuff of that nature, which became the stepping stone for me having Naija Girl Talks, or me even having my own domain like Olamide Ayanda. Like, this is my everything that I've worked on in one place. Everything we do is a stepping stone to the next thing. And you might not, you might not have a podcast right now. You might have a talk show. Like, this is a stepping stone for what God's taking you on later in life. So I think just understanding like everything in life is a stepping stone, and it's not your identity. It's just something you're doing in this season. I hope I answered your question.
No, you did. And you bring up Urban Disciple. What is Urban Disciple, and why did it transition?
So Urban Disciple, before Urban Disciple, was a college project. Freshman year at VCU, my professor for English, she was 25, fresh from grad school. She was young, she was hip, and she was like, call me Jennifer, And she said, our project this year will be you guys maintaining and holding a blog. And everybody was like, okay, cool, So my podcast was called Bittersweet Lemonade. And I basically like blogged about being a freshman at VCU, things that I did, like parties I went to, events that I went to. And people in Maryland that I'm close to were reading it and liking it and commenting. And then I got an A in the class, People got B's, I got an A. Listen, so then I got saved 2012. And I just felt like I wanted to write about the Christian faith from a young adult perspective. And at the time, I didn't really see many blogs out there like that. So I decided to I'm gonna do it, So that's how Urban Disciple started, as me, just blogging. And then for my 24th birthday, my friends, I shared that I wanted to I had urbandisciple.wordpress.com. And I want to be urbandisciple.com and have branding colors and be more legit and stuff like that. So my friends basically for my birthday gifted me urbandisciple.com. They gave my friend, he made the website, and then for my birthday they had a surprise party, which a blog party, and they just shared the website with me, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. That's how Urban Disciple started. Then eventually my friends that are also writers, they joined my team and also contributed to Urban Disciple. Even though my URL was Urban Disciple on Instagram, Urban Disciple became a team of people that just, shared their experience with the faith and stuff of that nature. So then Urban Disciple became solo because people, like I said, everything's a stepping stone. So Urban Disciple became a stepping stone for somebody like Deb to do Becoming Her, or somebody like Jumi to do, he writes on Medium, somebody like Toyin to have her own blog and her own creative endeavors. So it was a stepping stone for everybody to use their gifts and realize oh, I have potential. So Urban Disciple went from a team of 1 to a team of 5 back to a team of 1. But then when I did Naija Girl Talks, I just felt like Urban Disciple was a different brand from Naija Girl Talks, and I wanted Urban Disciple to be my name. I think I got tired of people calling me Urban Disciple in public. It's I have a name, it's Olamide. So I just decided to change it from Urban Disciple to Olamide Ayanda, and then I changed the URL as well. So Urban Disciple is there. I just morphed into more of a holistic thing type of thing.
What would you say this morph into? Because you killing the game in what you're doing right now.
Am I really?
Yeah.
I feel like I haven't tapped into my potential.
And before we went on live, you actually are coming off a hiatus, long
very long hiatus.
let's tap into that. Why did you because you got Naija Girl Talks season 4 is coming.
Yeah,
they just put out a casting call.
Yes.
Season 1, 2, and 3. It's not easy. It's a lot of podcasts starting this minute that we're talking.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm a firm believer in the race is saturated, but a sprint is very, very, very few people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people start stuff, but I'm like, all right, cool, you started. Talk to me in 6 months.
Yeah.
So, how have you been able to sustain Naija Girl Talks and, talk, what is Naija Girl Talks in the first place?
Naija Girl Talks is a podcast community that focuses on the crossroad of being an American citizen but having Nigerian heritage. We basically share the stories and lives of young Nigerian women that live in America, and basically different topics for every episode. We have people come and share their experiences to give hope to those who are in that situation that they can overcome it as well.
Hey,
that's my elevator pitch. If you want to
she
sponsor,
she just pulled that out of the brain. When did Niger Girl Talk start, and how did it morph from Urban Disciple?
So it started, like, the idea came to me, I believe, June 26th, 2018. I was on the Red Line train. And if you know anything about the Red Line train, it's like this. Yep. It's like sardines. Like, people are all on you before COVID, breathing down your neck. It's not the best experience, but the Red Line is the most popular line to get to from DMV, throughout the DMV. And I was like, God, I think it was raining too, so everybody's musty, I was like, God, this is not my life. Like, I need something that I can show that I have talent, that I am creative. Because Yvonne Orji, let me backtrack. Yvonne Orji was the keynote speaker for Build Your Brand that happened in 2018 in the DMV. And she basically said that, people want to get invited to the table, but it's like, why do you deserve an invitation to the table? Like, what have you done to show that you're worthy of a seat at the table? And I felt like I didn't really have anything that said, okay, Dad, she's talented, she's dope. Like, I had things here and there, but nothing that said, oh, Dad, she can do it all. And that's when I heard Niger Girl Talks on the train. So I texted my friends, and I was like, when you hear Niger Girl Talks, what do you think of? And there was, like, vibrant colors and Afro beats and, like, Niger Girls being, Ashaka Ra and extraness and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm thinking about having a podcast called Niger Girl Talks. And then at that time, I was binging on Black Girl Podcast, which is like with Scotty Beam and Gina Peppers. And I think that day, out of a team of 5, only 2 members were on the podcast, and they were both Haitian. And they was like, whoa, we're both Haitian. And they were sharing, like, childhood stories about being beaten by their parents or their grandma speaking Creole, all this stuff. I was like, it would be dope to hear, like, Nigerians share their, like, upbringing on different topics. So I decided to combine the 2 ideas.
When was this?
This was 2018. Yeah. Summer of 2018. So then,
so did you, like, tap some Niger girls, or... Because I know with season 4, you put out a casting call. Is it the same with season 1, 2, and 3?
So with season 1, 2, and 3, I decided to, like, I love deep convos. Like, I don't like small talk. Like, it's my pet peeve. I love deep convos, like intimate convos. So I would always have convos with my friends. I'm like, yo, we should record this. I just tap them. Like, okay, remember that time we talked about gaining weight? Let's talk about it again. Like, that time we talk about being single at 25? Let's do it again. So, and then also with that, it's just like, I know them, so I know they won't be acting wild on the podcast. So it just helps me. Like, I tell people I run my podcast like Chick-fil-A. Like, Chick-fil-A plays Christian music, but they don't put the lyrics. They put, like, the melody. So like, open the eyes of my heart. Like, they're playing it, but you don't hear the lyrics. It's like, I do the same thing. Like, I try to have people that I know are not reckless with their mouth on the podcast, so that way I don't have to edit anything out. So I just tap my friends, but then I realized, like, we can't keep hearing from the same old people every year. So I put out a casting call out there, and funny enough, somebody put in the description, like, yeah, by the way, I don't curse, so I'll be good for your podcast. I was like, oh, thank you. Like, at least like, I don't like certain things being mentioned on the podcast, like certain, like, languages I don't allow. If they do slip up and say it, I'll have to edit it out, but, like, I'd rather it just not happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
how do you feel about the reception of Niger Girl Talks, the success, the audience? How do you feel it has been? You're going into season 4.
At first, it was hard, okay? Because people did not receive the podcast as I thought they would. Like, it was a lot of backlash.
Why?
Season 1, when I say I was having, like, anxiety and breakdowns and crying.
So the topics?
It's not really the topics. It's the
fact that it's Niger, is by Nigerians for.
It's the response from the people. Like, for example,
because generally people feel like Nigerians are proud.
No. Don't feel we are proud. We're proud. Yorubas are very proud people, and there's even levels to our proudness and within the Yoruba culture. But, like, even, like, saying I'm doing Niger Girl Talks and promoting it, somebody was just like, Girl Talks, why is it not like West African Girl Talks? And I will let you know, people will always have their opinion, but you have to, like, if God told you something, like, walk in that. So basically, somebody said that to me, like, oh, why is the Naija girl talks, and she's Cameroonian, your people.
I'm sorry, yo.
It's
Sorry.
okay. It's okay. Forgiving her in my heart. You know, she said that, and then I felt bad. Like, okay, why is it not? You know, African girl talk? But the Holy Spirit was just like, I don't know what happened. I was on Google and I found a website that literally hosts like African diaspora podcasts, and there was 254 podcasts.
254
podcasts about different places, different, you know, countries coming together do a podcast. And Hope was like, why would you be 255? You know, and at that time, I think African Millennial had dropped on YouTube. It's like, you know, the American BK chat.
Yeah.
And they had like Salone, they had like Nigeria, they had Ghana, they had, you know, Tanzania and Zimbabwe. Like, Hope was like, why would you want to be another replica of that? Like, I didn't tell you to do that. And it's like, people complain all the time, so why would you succumb to that? So, and then even the topics like you gained weight. Somebody messaged me like an essay, like you only feature people that were plus size, and what about the skinny people? We get backlash too. My dear, I am 100 pounds as well. I am skinny as well. I understand, but I did not want to have skinny versus oversized, and it being a who got a worse type of debate. No, I want to focus on one part and let them share their story. So people will always have opinion, but you have to grow like tough skin and be like, fight me, like I don't care.
I'm
like
in season 4. What you want?
What you want? Like
you
fight
want?
me. Like, and I am a very controversial person. Like I don't care. Like I don't care how you feel. Like at first I think I cared in season 1, but now it's like you're not
paying the bills.
You're not paying for the podcast host. You didn't probably play the episode, but you want to complain. No, like that's how people kill dreams. And it's just like, yeah, be careful with your words. So it was hard, but it's like now that I'm in season 4, nobody can tell me nothing. Like people have been blessed by the podcast, so you can't try and challenge me on that. And I make sure my podcast is tasteful, so it's like if I'm doing it in a pure heart, like why are you trying to say I'm doing it out of malice or evil? So I don't nah.
Season 4, you're going into season 4, but before that you spent some time in this deep down south. I'm curious, like why because I think the last episode of season 3 was November or January.
No, I had an episode 5 this year, dedication about Gabe and Wale talked about fatherhood and being fathers of 2-year-old daughters and stuff of that nature, but there was a gap between episode 4 and 5, so I understand.
Why did you feel like you needed to Usa?
So one, COVID, I think just like being indoors for a year and life just changing and stuff of that nature. I think is it cabin fever?
Yeah.
I think it got to me, and then I was like, I think we were all depressed last year or this year. I think I was depressed, and then like I turned 30, and it's like I felt this peace, come over me, like, oh, I'm 30, like so much confidence, but like people will say things like, oh, you're 30 and you're not where you're supposed to be in life and blah blah, and I think I let it get to me. So I was like, you know what, let me take a break, go to the south, get some fresh air, recuperate, get the rest that I needed, and then come back, because it's COVID, like who gonna miss me, like but then life hit. Like I got to Georgia, and then just getting like settled and finding my rhythm down there, because you go from like a DMV area where everything is so close knit, everybody knows each other, there's always something to do, to going to the south where everybody lives so far from you, everything is slow, everything's cheaper too, but everything is slow, traffic is crazy. It's like you're stuck in the house again. So then I got COVID. I got COVID in Georgia. Oh my gosh, I would never wish COVID on anybody. Like it's the worst, and it took me a while to like even like get back to baseline, like eating, and I had insomnia, like I couldn't sleep. It was just really bad. And then just even the motivation to create, I just couldn't even do it. So I took a break because I'd rather take a break and rest than burn out.
Yeah.
And I'm a team of technically one person. So
when is the anticipated return date? Episode 1, season 4.
So I try to do every like trailer for the season to drop on New Year's Independence Day, October 1st.
So wait, we gotta wait another 4 months?
Nah, October.
Oh, October.
October.
Oh, Independence. I'm thinking New Year. Sorry. Independence. Yeah.
It's coming. So I'm drop the trailer on October 1st, and then by God's grace, a week or two after, I will have the first episode of season 1.
Dope. Listen, I want to get into some, content creation and what it is that you are into right now. First of all, how easy or how hard is it to do what you do, as far as like content strategy, brand auditing, all that good stuff that people don't think about but need?
For me, it's easy. Like, I see in colors. Like, I literally see colors and I put things together, or I'll see ways brands can like elevate themselves or what they should have done and stuff like that. For me, it's literally everything's like branding or marketing whenever I turn around. So for me, my mind is always like racing. So it's easy.
And so do you search for brands, or do they normally reach out to you? It's like, hey, listen, we want to bring you in. We feel like, we're struggling. Can you see what we're lacking and how to augment?
For the most part, it's referral. Like, shout out to Sophia. Sophia will plug me in with people like, oh, this client that I'm looking for, or this friend that I know needs somebody to do X, Y, and Z. Or maybe because because people know that I do Niger Girl Talks and I create my own content, they'll reach out to me like, oh, we need help with X, Y, and Z. But I'm trying to tap into me actually pitching my services to people hey, I see that you're a new business and I want to da 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 da. But yeah, that's something that the Lord is working on me with. Yeah.
So what are 3 skills that you think somebody needs to be successful as a brand, operator?
I would say be flexible. Be flexible. Things might change. For example, this podcast, for me, we went from doing it in person to doing it through Zoom. And I had to be flexible with the fact that, people might not be able to gather in the same room.
Right.
So then it's kind of hard for me to bring that synergy via Zoom, because I'm so used to looking at people and talking to them, but with Zoom is
yeah.
So I would say be flexible, because COVID has changed the game of how we do things. So being flexible, but also being innovative. I was in grad school for a season, and I failed. But I was in grad school for a season, and one thing I've learned was in my class was brands become obsolete when they don't become flexible and adapt with change in society. So for example, look at Blockbuster. They went out of business because they refused to do what Netflix did, would become online. And that's why Netflix is now popular, because I don't got to drive to my Blockbuster anymore. I can just go on my computer and find a movie to watch. So it's being flexible with the times, and also being innovative. And third, I guess I would say find your identity
and be willing to spend. That's my own.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, if it's really your passion, I would say invest money. Only so far you can go with being free. Free Canva account, free Zoom account, free Spotify account, but after a while you gotta put money into gotta pay for ads on Instagram and Facebook. You gotta put money into having membership and subscriptions, put money into your equipment, put money out there to make money. But yeah, I think finding your identity is also important. I can't copy what you're doing, because God has given you that grace. And someone can't copy what I'm doing, because God has given me that grace. So finding your balance in between your identity and the brand and how you want to work it.
So is it full time right now, or that's the goal, that's the aspiration
for the podcast?
No, for brand strategy and everything else.
By God's grace, full time.
So wait, what do you do full time right now? Is it
nothing?
I like that.
No,
I like that.
It's not by choice.
I like that. I would like to be chilling.
No, it's not by choice. I've been interviewing for jobs right now, but I'm not working right now. So everything's out of pocket, out of my savings. So yeah.
So you gotta listen to what your sister told you, what you said earlier. It's listen, step out there.
I was like, yo, because she literally went from working with a corporation to freelancing on her own, and she works for big brands now, nice brands. And I was like, how'd you do it? How'd you take that step? She was like, girl, took one foot before another type of stuff. So it's just God has written our stories already. We have to tap into it.
Listen, you started with Urban Disciple, it morphed into different blogs, and then Niger Girl Talks, and then now you're helping brands augment and build. What's next for you as you come back with season 4 of Niger Girl Talks?
I don't even know, actually. I think I had a vision for season 3, but life happened. But some of it ended up coming, to fruition. But with season 4, I don't really have anything per se. Like I try to have fun with it. At first people put like, okay, like you need to listen to podcast every 2 weeks and da 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 da. But just like, no, like I don't have to succumb to that. Like I want to have fun with it. So for season 4, it's just to have fun. But I definitely want to get deeper into storytelling. Like really people share their stories, like, and deeper topics, like, people that had miscarriages and people that dealt with like deeper depression, or people that were suicidal, like topics that, okay, we haven't like touched at all. I want to touch it. I like doing taboo topics. Like I love it. So I want to tap deeper with the topics, but also like tap in deeper with the storytelling, the narrative, and like change how we do things. Like yeah.
I got a podcast recommendation for you. It's called This African Life. It's hosted by her last name is Fanya. She was on Stuck in Middle too, actually. So check that out. I think it's called My African Life or This African Life. No, Living African Podcast.
Living African.
Yeah,
podcast.
Living African Podcast. She was gonna name it. Yeah, she was gonna name it This African Life, and then it's already taken. So it's called Living African Podcast. But yeah, Olamide Lams, this has been dope, yo. I feel like your energy, the way you like, I was like, I don't know, because you just, we talked on the Couch Talk. Those topics were different from your domain. So it's good to know you deeper and know what you're doing. Just I'm rooting for you.
Thank
and
you.
Praying for you. See how the Lord's gonna take everything that you're doing and push it over the top of the moon.
By the way, I am an introvert, so don't be fooled by this energy. No, like I'm going back to my room.
I don't believe it.
And hide it under my cover. So don't believe this energy that you're seeing. It's only for like talking.
That's that flight or flight you were talking about earlier.
Flight or fight. Like if I have to speak, I'll rise to the occasion. If I don't, I'm flying away. So.
And you do speaking engagements too.
Here and there, but not really.
Generally,
I don't
what
like
topics,
public
though?
speaking.
Generally, like what would it like branding stuff, or like more from your blogs, or
I think I did, but I have done both. Like more like the Christian faith for the most part, and then maybe here and there people actually talk about branding. But I don't like public speaking. I don't.
Yeah, all right. All right.
Yeah,
you can't block that though. It's on your website. I saw it.
What?
Public speaking.
Yeah.
Speaking engagements. People can book you.
No, they can't. You
Yeah,
can't.
they can.
You can't book me.
Listen, we've had the pleasure of speaking with Olamide Ayanda.
It's Iyanda, but I prefer Ayanda. I know my dad hates that, but it's spelled with the I, like Ayanda.
Got this American girl.
I know, right?
Ayanda. Blogger, administrator, graphic designer, and the host and creator of Nigeria Talks. Do men come on the podcast? That's one question I was.
Yeah. Men do come on. Like,
Oh yeah, you had what's the guy? Raheem,
Gabe, Wale,
Yeah.
Chris. I had them on the podcast.
Project 330.
Yeah.
You had him on? No, they had you on.
Yeah, had me on. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a dope one. Y'all go check that out.
I enjoyed that.
I'll be on it soon.
Oh yeah.
Nigeria Talks, but the topic gotta be deep. I already know what we're gonna talk about. If you enjoy
Is
what
it
you
marriage?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
People just getting married in 2 weeks. You're already an expert. Listen, ask me in 5 years. Maybe if you want to know more.
That's how it be.
Yo, people just get married and then start a YouTube channel. It's like, you don't know what you're talking about.
People start ministries and stuff like that off of them being married. Like, you have other components to you, sir.
Right.
What?
And they make bread. Hey, I ain't gonna knock nobody's hustle, but
Not for me.
yeah, we sniff out the fake, the phonies, quick. Keep it authentic. I'm deviating right now. Thank you so much for pulling up on us.
No problem.
This was dope, and hope you had fun.
I did. I didn't know what you were gonna ask me. So
I told you before, it's nothing out of the ordinary. Like, are you vaccinated? You support Trump, Biden?
I'm
You don't have to
vaccinated.
accent. You don't have to accent. After that COVID bar, you better be vaccinated.
no, listen. I got vaccinated really quick.
Like before you had COVID?
No, after, but I had to wait like 2 months because I had the antibodies already, so there's no point in getting vaccinated.
Yeah,
so I had to
makes
wait
sense.
for it to wear off. Then I got vaccinated.
Makes sense. If you are listening and you're not vaccinated, that's okay. You can just hit the subscribe button. If you're vaccinated, hit the ringer, bell notification, so you get updates every time we drop something new. We support both vaxxers and anti-vax. I'm getting political.
We do not discriminate.
You know what I'm saying? I am your host, Reflex. Shout out to Tutu in the building. Shout out to Sir Charles in the building. We got a packed day. There's a lot of content coming out in the next couple of weeks. Shout out to Ines, Chuchu, Ma, AK, Achiri. A team is deep behind us. If you want to support, sitnpodcast.com. Cop the merch. Shop the merch. We got sweaters. We got hoodies. Incredible stuff on that spring. I think it's spring. What is it? What is next? Fall? You don't even know seasons. It's fall. You got a fall collection dropping soon, so go cop the merch. Don't share hoodies with your boyfriend.
Not steal it.
Don't steal it.
Steal the
go
hoodie.
get yours. All right, and get one for your auntie as well. I'm your host Reflex. We have Lamide in the building. Thank you so much for putting up on us.
Thanks for
And
having
we see you
me.
on the next one. Peace.
Hey everybody, this is your girl Tutu, and make sure you check out our online store so you can get some SITM merch. Make sure you check us out. Make sure you hit up all our videos. We got some dope content on the way as well. Make sure you also subscribe, hit that bell notification, and check us out because we got more in store.